Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Crafts with John. Hope you like that opening. That's from that opening video there was made by George from CY as a promo for the upcoming Dice Throwers Championship, which I think I will never qualify for based on the way I threw today. I'm kidding, of course. I actually didn't throw that bad today in the daily paycheck session, but I see the Dice Dr. Dan is here, and Dan, I need some CPR on that damn throw of mine today, boy oh boy. Ugliness out there. But in all honesty, you look back at the throws from the daily paycheck, and it wasn't that bad. I looked at it when I got in here, I had a 15, a 10, and 2 8-long rollers, right? Those are all good size rolls that we should have done better on. Just the strategy wasn't right for the roll. So let's go ahead and actually dive in a little bit. And I want to go there. I want to go here. Sorry, wrong screen. Wrong screen. Let's do this one. Let's look at where we are at the paycheck. And I really want to talk about this a little bit. Not so much the strategy itself, but let's get into where we are. First of all, the Southern Border is 2-2-1. Okay. Because of today's huge loss, we're down $2,800 for the week in that strategy. We were even the first day, right? We made money. Today we got thumped pretty hard, right? The day we've lost like a couple $100. It wasn't that big a deal. Got thumped today. And here's the thing with these strategies, and I think it's important to know why I'm doing what I do in the mornings, right? We're going to run the same strategy at least 5 times, maybe 6 or 7, depending on an early win or something. I want to see them operate in somewhat of a long term. Five trials isn't even that much of a turn to see how good a strategy does. But I think 5 trials is enough for us to get a sense of the strategy itself. A, how to play it, right? B, what adjustments that it could use to be better. But more importantly, you find out where the butter zone is. Like, what's the butter zone of a strategy? And I wrote a note here. It says, this is a complete grind, right? But the Southern Border has a sweet spot. It's a really sweet spot. Most of my life when I've played this strategy, this works really good. And again, if you're a believer in table trends at all, or watching tables and seeing how things are kind of going, this strategy's got a butter zone, okay? The Hedgeless Horseman's butter zone is 0.7 out, 0.7 out, point one number 7 out. The Horseman like destroys the really bad tables, right? It also does really good on a hot roller because you get 3 come bet set and all 3 of them are getting wins and you're making place bets out of it and it can roll good on a longer shot. The mid-length rolls, the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, those size rolls, it sucks on. The Horseman gets destroyed on a mid-length roller. This strategy is great on a mid-length roller, right? Set a point, right? A box number, and then a 7 out. Set a point, a box number, a couple of rolls, and then you're 7ing out. The Southern Border wins great on the 4 to 7 length rolls. You get into a good shooter where you're rolling 10 numbers, 12, 15 numbers like I did today, the Southern Border gets its ass kicked because you're picking off your don't points, right? It can't sustain you picking off your don'ts. Today I picked off the 6 and 8, which was obvious. I picked off a 4 and a 10. I picked off everything today, right? As a shooter, I was actually pretty good once I got box number set at picking off those points. And that's the kryptonite of the Southern Border strategy. You wouldn't know that if I didn't run it 5 days in a row. You wouldn't see it, right? The video that I put out on the Southern Border, I've done 2 videos on it. One where I describe the strategy and do a quick rollout, and it happened to win that day. The other one was when we did the Craps for the Cure donation thing. The Pass the Rack, I ran the border for that one, and it made like $15,000 in like no time. Caught good rolls those days. This week, it's not doing so well, and I think part of it is because my shots are not in the butter zone. I'm either way too short, PSO kills this thing, or I'm way too long and we're picking ourselves off. So it's good to know the butter zone, right? And it's like, if you're at a table where everybody's throwing 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, that's the Southern Border, right? If you're at a table where it's 0.7 out, 0.7 out, you jump into the Horseman and you ride that rhythm for a minute until it comes out of it. I think what we're learning with this daily paycheck series is what works when, what works how. And as a shooter, or as a player, I guess you have like more bullets in your gun. Today we had the wrong gun in the wrong fight. Right? We had a pistol, in World War I in the trench. Pistols don't work in the trench. You need something bigger than that, right? And that's what it was. So the butter zone of the Moonbow, right? is, again, it doesn't really matter. The butter zone of the moonbow, the kryptonite of the moonbow is too hot of a shooter, right? And what I mean by that is you set a 9, right? If you're on the 9, that's the kryptonite, or you buckshot your point. The moonbow does have a kryptonite, which I did hit last week a couple times too. There is ways to get that thing destroyed. I've run it in WinCraps as a quick trial, like when I was writing the code, and it was going down really quick because the RNG will find that butter zone. It'll find the badness of you, right? The quick points. Other than that, that's a good steady grind up, right? But again, the butter zone for that one, I think, is a longer roll. The moonbow wants a longer roll, but it does not want certain numbers. It is what it is, right? Craps is full of holes. We're gonna find it. We're gonna find them all in this series. But I think keep your eye on that. As we're doing the paychecks, keep your eye on that part of it. Go back and watch the old ones too. You'll find where the strategies hit on all cylinders, right? The squeeze play, right? Can't survive a PSO. It can't survive a 2-roller. It's got to have at least a 3-roller, and it's got to be 3 good ones. It's got to be 3 rolls on the right numbers. Otherwise, that thing's gonna get crushed too, because there's no protection to it. So there it is. You should play it against the same rolls of the strategies. Oh, you're talking to skill. Okay, so that's it. That's my thing on the paycheck. I think it's a great series to keep doing. Of course, I love doing it every day. It's a reason to wake up and play, right? But at the end of the day, we have to go into this thing with like rooting for the strategy to win, yeah, but really trying to figure out where the kryptonite is and where the juice is of each strategy, knowing where do they work best, in what situations are you good, and I think that's the important piece. So anyway, that's a lot of much ado about nothing, but I think it's important to call that out. I want them all to win, but I also want to learn where they don't, and I think that's as an important of a thing to know, I think, as where they're good. So with that said, let's move ahead and get to the news. News is the same except for one addition. Friday night fights this week: Sith Lord versus Mad Dog. I did write to Mad Dog, haven't heard back yet, so I don't know if he's playing or not. Again, he had a house fire, so I don't know what his situation is in terms of can he play or not, but we'll find out. If not, it'll be a next man up situation. Craps Chat, of course, on Sunday, which is, you know me, right? I'm like, I bookmarked that a week ago because I love that show so much. It's literally like this show and the paycheck show and this show, they're fun for me, but they're a little stressful because, you got to perform out there on the thing. And here I've got to kind of be on. On Craps Chat, it's more like hey, let's just kick back and just be buds and talk, right? It's so much fun. I love that show. So we'll see you there on Sunday night after football, okay? Big AZ's Royal Rumble, heating up. It's going to be out there in a couple of weeks. Bookmark that whole Sunday for it. It's going to be great. I'm playing in that as well. And finally, the Craps Nation throwing tourney. I did the George preview this morning, the video of it. There's no entry fee. It's free, open to everybody. Mudslide Mac, who's a great shooter, already donated $200 to the Red Cross because he said, if I win it, I'm going to donate the money anyway. He said, screw it, I'm going to donate the money now. So he's donated ahead of time. If you want to do it, donate to the Red Cross. It'd be really cool. Here's the rules for it. If you want to be in, again, it's free. Random shooter, whatever you are, come and do it. You qualify. We take your best out of 3 rolls. I'm one of the hosts and judges, by the way. So I'll have to watch your camera. There's a whole set of rules about how we do this to keep it legitimate, but we're going to watch you do 3 shooters, your best out of 3. If you qualify the best, you're in the top 32, right? In the semis, it's the best out of 2. In the quarters and the finals at the very, very end, it's going to be head to head, and you're going to get not only roll length, but we're going to assign points to like come out 7s and fire bets and that kind of stuff, extra money. So, oh yeah, Justice Jet, I forgot about that. You know what? I forgot because I don't watch the show. Not because I don't love you guys, but I don't watch the show. Sports Talk tonight with Dice DGen, Ian, and maybe Jen as a guest. I haven't watched one of those shows. I watched the first one, after it happened. I can't watch it live because I'm teaching at night for this month. So I haven't watched the live one. I'm going to miss it again tonight too. I'll watch it again later. But yeah, Jen, Ian, and Chris, the Dice DGen, are doing a sports talk show tonight, previewing football for the weekend. So there you go. That's that. What else? I see a thing here from Skill too. and I'm going to reiterate what you say here, and I'll get to this in a minute. John is going to create for all the strategies. So I'm going to basically write WinCraps scripts for every strategy that I've ever done on the paycheck and the ones I'm going to do. And I'm collecting all the roles. So what I've done is Jen actually has helped me out with this. I'm hand typing in every role from the paycheck into my role collector. I'm going to take that all and put it into WinCraps. So WinCraps is going to have every role I've ever done for every paycheck from the first day in order that they were rolled in, all going to be in WinCraps. Then I can take every strategy and run them all against that same set of roles. How would the border have done all, and we've done 70 something paychecks episodes, right? How would the border have done against all 70 days? How would the come letter have done against all 70 days? So like the same strategies against the same roles, that's going to be the ultimate test of it. That'll really decide it at the end. What we see in the garage is like live. What I see in data is going to change it. And so that's going to be a thing that's coming. It's going to take a while. Like these scripts don't write themselves. You've been watching me code WinCraps now for a couple of days. The scripts, they don't write themselves. So it's going to be a thing where it takes a hot minute to get there, but we're going to get there. And that, I think, that said, I kind of want to get over to WinCraps now and actually start coding it out. So I want to take our next move here in WinCraps, and I'm going to finish out the mind today. So we've done the mind strategy for a couple of days, right? We did the basic kind of how do you get WinCraps to work. I did conditional logic, which is the ifs and the thens. Yesterday, we talked about variables where I can set trackers to see kind of where we are in the strategy. Today, I'm going to unlock, I think, my favorite thing about WinCraps, which is, and it's a thing that I did myself. I wish Steam would put this in. And I'm going to ask him to put this in as an option. Maybe he will listen to me. You'll see why. There's a lot of code that goes into what I'm about to do. It's going to be a big one. But it's going to help us track win rates. And I wish that there was a checkbox that he could just do what I'm doing here as part of this core app, because this is a lot of code. But I want you to see what I'm going to do. This is going to change the way that we test the mind strategy. Okay, so let's go over to WinCraps here. Let me change my screen. And I'm going to show you what my plan is over here. So let's get the glasses on. Now, what I've got here is the mind strategy that we started working on and I've been at all week. And I'm going to do a little bit of a code review with you and show you where we are and how it works right now. And I'm going to run it a few times so you can see that it works, okay? First things first, we say in every WinCraps script, we start out with something like this. If initializing the script, in other words, when we just get going, when the script first starts, we're going to say auto handle all the winning bets will be same bet, take winnings. We're never going to press in this strategy. This is going to be a simple same bet, take the winnings off the table. Then I set a variable right here. This variable is called cs1.baseBet. Now, the way that WinCraps does variables is they call them check stacks, and there are 99 of them. 99 buckets or placeholders you can use to put your variable data in. So they're called CS1, CS2, CS3, up to 99. So I'm going to use number 1 right now to store our base bet, which is $100. I'm going to use check stack number 2 to store the bet level that we're at, which is, in other words, how many chips do we have out on the table? Okay, those are our 2 basic variables. And then we're going to bet cs1.baseBet. cs1.baseBet, as you can see, is $100. So what's going to happen is it's going to bet $100 on the buy 4, buy 10, place 9, and place 5. That's our setup for the program. It's going to start out with those rules. Then what happens with WinCraps is after every single roll, it's going to run the code you see here below. I'll scroll down some. So the first thing that happens is after we have a dice result, it's going to say if the last roll was not a come out roll, in other words, we have a point established, and not any of our bet wins. So the opposite of winning. If no bets win and our level is less than 5, we're not going to go past $500 per bet. Okay. Then we're going to add the base bet, which is $100 to, or times 0.5. We're going to go up by half a level. I wanted to show this to Jen yesterday. We can just say add the base bet to the bets. We're going to go up by 1 level on the bets, and we're going to increase, add 1 to CS2 level. So if, for example, we rolled a 9 or something like that, why am I getting no scroll bar here? If we rolled a 9, our level would be 2, because that code in there is going to increase the bet level right here. This would make it a level 2. And then we know kind of where we are. We say if any bet wins and our level is greater than or equal to 5, in other words, we take a 5 level bet, we're going back to base. We set our level back to 1. We go back to our base bet and start again. If anything loses, again, we go back to level 1 and reset our bets to base. So basically we go back to base on a loss, or back to base if a level 5 bet wins. Otherwise, we're gonna level these things up, okay? Let's go ahead and play this out. I'm gonna actually, close that down because I have a weird problem there. I'm gonna close this window real quick. Let's play it out. Let's watch the bets work. Oh, you know what? I think it's actually not on. Let's see, action, auto bet. I may have, oh, it is active, okay. Let's play it out and see what happens. We have an 8. Our bets are at base level, 100 bucks. I'm gonna roll the dice again. We get a 10, one of our bets hits, same bet. We roll an aces. That should increase our bets, right? It did not. Why did it not increase our bets? There's an 8. Something's broken the script. It broke. Let's see, we're not getting our bets to increase. Let's find out what's happening. Unless it's just not playing in the script. Let's see, active, inactive. Let's try it again. Because that was working for us yesterday. ProCraps is active. Let's see, we roll a 5, it's the same bet. If we roll a ace deuce, they should go up by a unit, and they're not. All right, let's find out what's going on. Let's actually, here's a problem. The script isn't working anymore. I don't know what happened. But let's debug it. I'll show you how we debug a script, because that's good that it's not working. I might have been playing with it yesterday and broke something. So let's see what we did wrong. I'm gonna check this options box and say show steps during play. And let's find out why it's not working. We're gonna go ahead and do a 1, 2, 3. And let's follow the logic. It's gonna tell us what it's doing. And I wanted to get this working before we jump into the next phase here. So we are not initializing script. So it's gonna skip that whole block. If last roll was not a come out roll, and any bets, not any bets wins, and the level's less than 5, it says this is false. And that's why it's skipping, it's not raising our number. I feel like our level is incorrect or something. So I'm gonna have to find out what the numbers are in here to see why this happened. Because it's skipping that block. Maybe our level's just wrong. Yeah, those are all gonna be busted. Let's do something here. I'm gonna put a little sign, show message, cs2.level. This is gonna pop a little alert box for us so we can see where our level is. What is going on here? Lost my connection to my machine. Hold on. What happened? There we go. This machine is kind of plugged into my network. Okay, let's do this. Let's activate. We'll reset it. Crap, next. I gotta do all this again, hold on. I wanna see what our level is and why is it messing up our levels? Because that, I think, is the problem. Let's turn that off. Let's come back out here. Let's roll a 6. Ooh, it's like not running the script at all. Why is it not running the script? Auto betting. That's interesting. Let's do game new. Something's happening here. Game new. It's like not running our script. Yes, save the script. Don't save the session. All right, let's run it again. Point of 6. Roll a 3. There we go. Now it's working. Okay, that's what should have happened before. Roll a 3. Roll a 6. Set a new point of 8. Yeah, I guess it just had to be reset. There's a 5. Let's make sure that we're good though. It's going to go to the 9. We'll do another 6. It goes to 400, another 6, it goes to 500. We'll do a yo. So it should not go past 500, and it won't. If we get a hit on the 9, it goes back to base. If we get a hit, let's say we miss it, it goes to 200. We get a 7, it goes back to base. It should go back to base if the bets lose. It's not. Why is it not going back to base? It's like never removing the bets. So something, I screwed something up in the script. This is what this is telling me. Somehow, some way, we're not getting our levels back to 0 for some reason. CS2 level equals 1. We need to do show message CS2.level. Why is this thing not running at all? Like this message here should be showing every single time, unless I have an option turned off. Show message during play. There we go. Dumb. All right, let's do it again. I didn't have this option turned on to show the messages. This should now pop the spot. I want to see what the level, I think the level is not being calculated right. Let's see where we are. Let's set a point of 3. Level is 2, okay. Now it goes back. Oh, I see, it's waiting until we get a point set, I guess, right? Let's do it again. Let's go level, let's hit a 5, or an 8 rather. Level's 1. Let's hit an 8. The level's at 2, that's right. Let's hit a 7 out. Level's at 3. It goes back to level 1. That's what we should be seeing. That's exactly the right behavior. So now when the script is working, for some reason it just was kind of being buggy there. So what I want to do today is take this script up a level. Okay, we're going to add a bunch of variables to it, and I mean a bunch of them. Things that we're going to, use to track our win rate and our loss rate. All right. So the way that's going to work is this. I'm going to go ahead up in the top section of this thing. Oops. Add a lot of variables. So we have our base bet and our level. We're going to add new stuff down here. Let's put them here. These are going to be, actually, I'm going to put them above. I'm going to do it. It doesn't matter where they go. I'm going to put them above at the very top of the section here because I want to keep them kind of separate. I'm going to put a note. These are the trackers. And what I'm going to track are cool things. We're going to track, I'm going to use check stack 90. I'm going to call it decisions. I'm going to set that to 0. So decisions meaning I have won money or I've lost money, right? You can also name these things. So I'm going to say CSN90. Check stack name number 90 is going to be the word decisions. And this will be important here in a few minutes, okay? We're going to set CS91 dot wins. So we're going to track the number of wins. Right now it's 0. CSN91 is going to be wins. CS92, we're going to call that one win percent. Win, we'll do it lowercase, the WIN-PCT, win percentage. We'll set that also to be 0. CS name 92 is going to be winning percentage. CS 95 is going to be, or sorry, CS 95 rather, dot losses is going to equal 0. CSN, the name for number 95, is going to be losses. We'll set 96, CS 96. We'll call that dot loss percentage. It'll be 0. CSN 96, the name of that one is going to be losing percentage. A couple more to go here. We'll do CS 98 dot win goal. So we're going to set our win goal equal to 10%. 0.1. We'll change that later. Okay. CS name for number 98 is going to be win goal. I made that wrong. It's be CSN, not dot. Just CS98. Finally, we'll do CS99 dot loss limit will be 1 or 100%. win 10% or lose it all. CSN 99 is going to be loss limit. We're going to use all these variables, a lot of them, right? This is a lot of work up here. And you can see what we're going to do. As we win and lose, we're going to track how much we've won and lost, how many times the strategy worked. This is going to be a lot. Like I said, this is why I want WinCraps to have this part of the thing, but that's going to be a lot of stuff for us to worry about, right? But it's all important things. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick check my script, make sure I didn't screw it up. See, loss. What's wrong with it? CS96. Unknown or misplaced element. CS. Oh, I forgot I spelled it right. CS96. Sorry. CS96 loss percentage. CSN96. I see I did them wrong. There we go. Let's check it now. Make sure I'm okay. Good. We did it right. So we have, oh shit. We have all these nice variables. Now we're going to use them. So at the very bottom of this script, after all the bets have been placed, so what we're going to do is we're going to let it do its thing. We're going to let it go ahead and add the money, lose the money, whatever it's going to do. Now we're going to start looking at determining whether we win or lose or not. So the logic of the script doesn't change. The way that it plays itself out doesn't change. What is going to change though is this statistics keeping. So here we go. Now I'm going to say a little quote that says, I'm going to gather the session stats and restart. So we're going to use some built-in variables. Now, WinCraps below down here has lots of built-in variables that you can use to reference the state of the game, okay? Whether a point's decided, the number of hands that have been played, all these things you can use. Every one of these things can be used in your script. All of those things, right? You can inspect the level of bets that you've got, if the fire bet got hit, all sorts of things, right? We're going to use bankroll today, okay? So I'm going to say this. Check this out. Nice little conditional. If our bankroll, bankroll? Bankroll. If our bankroll is greater than or equal to our beginning bankroll plus the beginning bankroll times CS98.win goal. Okay, what does that mean? If our bankroll is greater than what we started with times our win goal, and our win goal right now is set to, I believe, 0.1, right? So we're trying to win 10%. Bankroll plus bankroll times winning percentage here would be 10%. So now that we start with $5,000, that would mean that this would say if bankroll is greater than bankroll plus bankroll times 10% or 5,500, meaning we did it. We hit our win goal. This is a way to track whether you got your win goal or not. I'm going to actually make this a little bit wider so you can see the whole line. If that's true, okay, then we're going to add 1 to CS91.wins. We're going to add it to our win total. Cool. The exact opposite of that would be this. Let's track a loss. So that means we hit our win goal. If the bankroll is less than or equal to our beginning bankroll minus the beginning bankroll times the CS99 loss limit. Our loss limit right now, I set it to 100%. So if our bankroll is less than or equal to what we started with minus what we started with times 1, in this case, 100%, this means our bankroll is we've hit our loss limit. That would suck if we did, right? And if we do that, we're going to add 1 to CS95.losses. Let's look above here again. Remember, we're tracking our wins in CS91 wins. We're tracking our losses in CS95 losses. We're going to add 1 to the wins, 1 to the losses, based on whether or not we hit our win goal or our loss limit. That's the first piece of it, okay? Now, the second thing we got to do is restart. So what I want to do here is say, if we're playing for a paycheck, this is like the paycheck calculator. If either of those things is true, if we hit our win goal or we hit our loss limit, now we got to reset the bankroll and start again, like I do in the garage every day, okay? So now we're going to write a big complicated if statement. We're going to say if bankroll is less than minimum bet. In other words, we have done some badness here, right? Or either of these is true. Now I'm going to bring these two conditions up here and bring them both down there. So less than minimum bet or that or the negative one. So if either of those things works out to be true, any one of those things, okay? If we're at below minimum bet, we can't go any further. If we have hit a win goal or we've hit a loss limit, if any of those conditions are true, then we're going to get to work. We're going to do some math. We're going to add 1 to CS90.decisions. That's an important piece, right? Now we're going to figure the percentages out. We're going to say CS92.win percentage is going to be CS91.wins divided by CS90.decisions times 100. A little bit of a percentage calculation, okay? CS96.loss percentage is going to be CS95 losses divided by CS90.decisions times 100. We're going to remove all bets. We're going to reset the board, basically. We're going to do an ATM deposit of our bankroll. We're going to put all our money back in the bank. Our bankroll will go now down to 0. And then we're going to do an ATM withdraw our beginning bankroll. We're going to reset our rack, essentially. We're going to deposit the money, go back and get money, and that's it. Now, you could do this. Instead of all that, I'm going to put a comment here. We could say start new session. This would reset everything, okay? This down here basically says, let's log the wins and losses and let's go ahead and reset the bankroll. I'm going to show you how this works. Let's check the script, make sure I didn't type it in wrong. Missing an end if statement. Did I miss my end if? I did. End if. That's a big hunk of logic right there. But that's going to track our paycheck. We're good. Now let's watch it. Let's watch it work. Okay, let's watch it work. We're going to go out here. I'm going to remove this stupid whatever this bet up here. I don't know what that thing even is. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and make sure we reinitialize it. Make sure that it picks. Turn it off. Turn it on. I always do this just to make sure that's good. Now, I want to get that out of here. We know that we're good with the messages. We'll take this out. That's going to just be annoying. Okay. Off and on. Here we go. We're going to watch the bankroll. We're going to watch our bankroll. We're at 52, 30, 23. Okay. If the script is working the way that we wrote it, let's get a 2, 4, 6. We'll raise our bets. Right? We'll raise our bets. Let's rock a 9. 9's going to set. Look at our bankroll. Right? We won 603, but the bankroll got reset to $5,000. You see that? It got reset. So we know that our script is logging things, but where does it log it? Let's actually simulate a loss real quick. Let's go and get a, this is going to take a minute. Let's do a 6. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 6s. We're going to get the bankroll all the way up. No. 6. We'll do 8s. We'll do 8s. We'll do it. 8, 8, 8. I'm going to bump the bets all the way up. Come on. And let's get a 7. Lose them all. Let's get a 6. We'll get the 8s to bump it up again. 1, 2, 3. Level 5. And we'll lose it again. This time it's going to work. Watch. We're going to go to a point of 6. Let's get our bets up as high as they'll go till we're out of money. Okay, here we go. Ready? Here comes the 7. Now watch the bankroll. Watch up here. It's going to go to 5,000 bucks. We're going to lose. 527 resets the bankroll. So we know that we're good, right? If we lose our win goal or loss limit, or we win our win goal, it always resets the bankroll. But what did I do all that work for? Right? We set all these variables. Right? We did all this work. All these things got set, right? We did all this work down the bottom to log everything in, and all it did was reset our bankroll to 5,000 bucks. Where do you find out how you're doing? You do this. You're going to go to statistics in the menu here and go to this check stacks at the very bottom. This little window here is going to show us everything that's happened. Okay, and I'm going to try and make this a little bit bigger. Can I make the font bigger? I can. Let's go larger. Sorry, my hotkeys don't work, so apologies for this. Option, font, larger. So all that work we've been doing is being tracked in here. We've had 2 decisions. One of them was the win that we forced, right? So we're a 50% win goal. One of them was a loss, which we forced, 50% loss limit. Our win goal is 10%, our loss limit is 1. So this is going to track for us how the script is doing or how the strategy does over the course of a long time. We're going to use this window here to see how we're doing paycheck style. Yesterday we ran the script and it just lost 50 grand because WinCraps always goes to 0, no matter what you're doing. Let's go ahead and reset the thing. I'm going to go ahead and do a game new. New game. We're going to save our script. We're not going to save our session data though. We're going to start from scratch. We're going to go over here and I'm going to run this thing in hyperdrive. And you see those, if you can see the green lines that are going down as it runs, those green lines that hit the bottom, that's the bankroll being reset. And you can see it does hit 0 a few times. It goes really fast. Again, there's 4,000 rolls here. This is going against my roll stack, my roll history. But you can see how many times it stays above 5,000 and is doing its work. Give it a minute here to finish up. There's the 4,700 rolls. It stopped. That was all 4,000 rolls of my coffee and crap show and my personal practice. Let's look at the check stacks and see what it did. We'll go to the check stacks. Let's see how well this strategy does. We had 179 decisions, right? Which means that 151 times we made our goal. 500 bucks, right? 84.35% of the time, the Wayland's Mind strategy at the $100 level with John's tweak on it makes money. 84% of the time, it made 500 bucks or more, okay? 28 losses out of 170, so 15.6%, 16% of the time, we lost all 5,000 bucks, okay? You win 85, you win 151, you lose 28. The net result of that is you lost $50,000. You can look up here on the left. The net result is a huge ass loss, right? Because those big $5,000 losses are soul crushing, right? They're hard to make up, 500 bucks at a time. That's why paycheck play is so damn hard. That was with a 10% win goal, right? And a 100% loss limit. Here's the power of WinCraps. We're going to close this thing down. I'm going to make a new game new. Not going to save my session, but I am going to go to the script and we're going to make a change. This is where variables are so critical for us. We're going to go to the variable screen and I'm going to change. Let's do Victor's thing. Okay, Victor wants my win goal to be 50%. Win goal, 0.5. Loss limit, 0.5. Let's run the exact same set of rolls with a 50% win goal and a 50% loss limit. Let's see what the difference is. Last time we lost 50,000 bucks, right? Let's activate the script. Let's go back and run it again fresh. Let's see how we do this time. Same set of rolls. Same set of rolls, different criteria. We're going to look to win 50% or lose 50% instead of win 10%, lose 100%. Let's see what difference, if any, there is in the numbers. Give it a second to finish up. I'm going to check chat while we're doing it. Almost there. Why is it going past the total rolls? Oh, you know, is it not using the roll file? Is it using randoms? Let's see something. I wonder if I screwed that up. I'm gonna rerun this. I think I didn't do the roll files. Let's see. Dice roll files. Ah, it's not using my. I'm gonna reset it. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. That was a bad test. Let's do a game new. Save it. No. Rewind and playback. Okay, so now it'll run against the 4. I'm sorry, it didn't run against the same roll file. Let's do it again with the same roll file. Close that window. My fault. I'm sorry about that. That was a waste of a run there. Let's let it get to the 4,000 and we'll see what we're doing. How many times can I win 2,500 bucks or lose 2,500 bucks? This is Victor's test. It'll be different. I know I have done this before. It'll be a different result. Okay, we're at the end of the dice roll file. This time we lost 54,000 bucks. A little more than last time. Yes, rewind for playback. Let's look at our check stacks and see the difference this time. We should see a marked difference though, right? Look at this. The decisions was 108. So last time we did it, we had 170 times where we either won or lost. By increasing the win goal and lowering the loss limit, you limit the number of times that you win or lose. Okay, so this time we had only a 42% win rate. It went from 80% to 40%, but the 40% wins are 2,500 bucks because Victor sets it at 50%. Okay, the losing percentage again is higher than the win rate, but it's only losing $2,500 a shot. Okay, so we're upside down wins versus losses, but the money's different. Let's make a change again. Let's go back and do another change. Same dice roll file. Let's change this time, and we'll do let's do a 20% win goal. And we'll do, let's do a 30% loss rate. Okay, or let's do 40% loss rate. We're going to look to win $1,000 bucks, 20%, and we'll accept a loss of 2,000, something like that. Let's do that change now. We'll activate that version of the script. Yes, we're going to go ahead and make a new game. We're going to reset the board. Game, new. I'm going to save the script. I'm not going to save the stats, and we're going to go and run that with that parameter. And this is, again, you can do this all day long. WinCraps, change a couple things, run it again, and to see, you know, how does tweaking your goals and limits, how does tweaking the bet levels, right? If I change that from a $100 bet to a $25 bet, the loss rate goes into the toilet, right? Because trying to make 500 bucks off a $25 bets is almost impossible. When you're at a $100 level, it's more volatile, but you get there a lot more often. Let's see how we're doing here with this tweak. I'm not seeing a whole lot of zeros here. I'm not seeing this thing go to 0 at all. Let's see. Oh, it's just because our goal is different. All right, let's check it out. Let's go to the statistics. Yes, we're back. Yes. Statistics, check stacks. How do we do this time? Well, a little bit better. 60% win rate versus a 40% loss rate. We had more decisions, 224 decisions. We won 134 times, $1,000 bucks. That's kind of cool. But we lost 90 times, $2,000, which also kind of sucks. So you're getting to the point where you can see dialing it in. Again, here we lost less money this way than Victor's way, but we lost more money than Waylon's way. Waylon's way my tweak to it was $48,000. So we're still 10%. Win goal is still the winning way in this particular strategy against these particular rolls. And again, you can change all the numbers. Let's go back. We use variables again to our advantage. We'll go back one more time, and I'll show you how hard it is with quarters. I change this to $25. And let's just do a simple 10% win goal versus we'll keep it at 40%. 10% win, 40% loss. Let's keep that in. With $25 bets though, $25 bets, it's so hard to win. Wait till you see what happens when we do this. You're gonna be amazed by this. I am gonna save the script. I'm not gonna save the stats. We're gonna say okay. And let's roll the auto roller again. And let's see what happens. It's going all over the place. You're gonna notice one number is gonna change, I think, pretty drastically. I think when we do this, if I remember correctly how this turns out, you'll see it. One number is gonna jump out too. I hope that it does. There's our 4,700. Okay, let's go to the check stacks and let's look at, with my mouse. Let's look at our totals. Yes. Statistics, check stacks. Look at the number of decisions, right? We've been seeing 170, 150, 200 decisions. When you go to a $25 level, right, to win 500 bucks, only 45 times did we either win our goal or lose our goal, right? Only 45 times. $25 chips it's a grind. When I tell you all the time, like your bet level matters when you're using a monetary win goal like this, look at that. 45 times we got a decision versus a couple of hundred. That's incredible. The win rate though, at this level, almost 70%, which is pretty good. With a 10% win goal, our total bankroll, we lost 12,000 instead of 50,000, okay? Which is cool. So we lost $12,000 in the same number of rolls. We saw the same 5,000 rolls. We lost 12,000 instead of 50,000, okay? And what was I lost our numbers. And 31 times we won the 500 bucks, right? So 31 times you win $500, 14 times you lose, right? Not bad, not bad. It's interesting to kind of dial that in and see what's the right bet level for me, right? Do you want less decisions or more decisions when you're playing? I think that's an interesting piece of the thing. When you change your bet levels, how often you win or lose paycheck. And again, this is a paycheck thing. Every time we win it, we hit goal or lose goal, resets and starts over again. This is a really good look at a daily paycheck. So 45 days, a month and a half, right? 30 days, 1 month, 15 days the next month, right? This is where you ended up. The other ways, 171 decisions, that's like 6 months of play, is what that emulates 6 months of play. Interesting, huh? So there it is. There's my WinCraps stuff. And I see a question came in from somebody. What if I ditch the tweak? Sure, we can ditch the tweak. We can do that really quick. We can change the tweak here. Let me go back to the script. And the one tweak that I really made to it is the leveling thing, okay? So we're doing the going back to base after a loss, and we're doing going back to base after level 5 win. If I take the checks of level out of here, it'll just go up forever. It'll never stop going up. I would have to make another tweak to it to say after a 7, go back out at the same levels. We can do, I can do it. If you want me to, I'll code it up tonight. We can do it tomorrow to see and run them side by side. With and without the tweak. We can do the straight the straight mind and the tweaked mind and see which one's different. The tweaked mind or the straight mind will lose money faster on the bad runs, but it'll win money quicker too. It becomes more of a perpetual press type of thing or permanent press. So anyway, let's get back over here. Let's talk face to face. That was fun. I know it's a lot, right? Variables are a lot. That's a lot of tracking, but to me, that's, of all the things I've ever done in WinCraps, of all the things, that's my favorite thing I've ever coded up because how do I say this right? There's so many ways to play craps, right? You can play craps with the home run mentality, right? We talked to our friend Myopia Movie on Fireside a few weeks back. He's a home run hitter, right? He goes out there with big bets, press table max. He's going to win 50 or lose the 10 that he brought. He's looking to just crush souls, right? That's a way of playing. There's the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, right? The bankroll builder, steady stream, right? That's the moonbow. That's my normal way of playing, right? The normal way that I would go and try and win money, phase 3, right? The tier pressure kind of way. There's the paycheck way, which is this, 500 bucks and get out, 500 bucks and get out. This in WinCraps lets me check the paycheck way. How many times does my paycheck win me a goal and I'm done? If I left this thing to run, right, and say don't stop at goal. Go until, how high can you get it before you start seeing losses? It would be a whole different way of tracking, right? I like the fact that I can track my paycheck. I like the fact that I can see how many times does it hit a certain goal. You can see no matter how good a strategy is, it's always going to fail, right? There's no strategy that I've run yet that's hit goal every single time. They're all going to have that crappy sequence in there where they get crushed. But it's, I think, interesting to look at WinCraps that way and use it as the tool that it's meant to be, and saying, how good is my strategy? If I walked in a casino today with $500, can I win 50 with this strategy every day of the week? The answer, no, you can't. And this kind of proves that. And it's better than spending your own money to figure that out. I think that's a power feature right there. And again, you can do that kind of logic on your own with your own strategies and track the things that you want to track, right? I was talking to Darksider about this in chat, and I talked to Steen the other night. There's, he and I come up with a way now to, I can say, as part of those conditionals, if the 7 has shown more than 7 times in the last 36 rolls, I can change my strategy. You can actually use WinCraps to do some trend betting as well and have it actually change for you midstream, which is really kind of a cool thing. So a lot of things you can do here. I've scratched the surface. I've shown you variables, how they work. I've shown you conditionals and how they work. I've shown you kind of the way that WinCraps works top down. And we've done some basic logging with check stacks. That's the core set of tools I think you need to write your own scripts. And again, I'll post these up for you, but Steen has got 100 of them posted on his site as well. But these are good, I think, beginner size learning strategies to kind of play with and show you the mechanics of WinCraps. And I hope that helps unlock some of it. I know it gets complex, but I hope that it helps unlock some of it. I'm going to go and check my chats here and see if there's any questions that I need to answer still, and then we'll call it here. So let's see. WinCraps post the video of the Stern 3. Oh, cool. Duracell says John's posting WinCraps video and Vince too. Yeah, I got to check him out. I'm trying to get Steen on. We just got to get our schedules figured out. I'm going to have him on here as a guest. I'd like to do it tomorrow if I can figure it out, but if not, we'll do it next week. And I want him to work with me on building a strategy because he knows more than I do, obviously, about how to tweak some of the stuff. And we can press him a little bit about getting some of these features. Like, for example, let me go back to the screen again. I want to go back to WinCraps really quick. So I want to show you something. Let's see, where is it? Where's WinCraps? There it is. Over here, the things that you can look for, these variables that you can, like, what's the chi-square currently of a certain combination? I can look that up. We can look at these math functions. We can look at these other modifiers. I would like to get in here, like a number rate out of 36. Like, how many times has a 6 shown out of the last 36 rolls, or how many times has the 7 shown, like we talked about? I would like to get him to do, like, instead of me saying down here all this mess that we did, I'd like it to say if win goal achieved, if loss limit achieved, do the work. So we can have like bigger buckets of things to do conditionals on. If he would do that, that'd be great. And again, there's things built into this thing that I don't know, that Vince doesn't know, that Steen just has it all. So again, excuse me, try and get him in here for a Q&A session and some pair coding. I think it's interesting enough. You all seem to like the fact that we're doing some WinCraps work because it is the #1 tool that we have, especially if you can't go to the casino every day. This is the best research tool you've got to learn stuff. So, all right, let's do this. Skill says, check my P's and Q's. So I must have a PC in here that I'm not answering. Let's take a look. Hyper still wants to know if I want to name. You guys need to come up with a name for yourselves, right? He wants me to name my subscribers with some kind of a cool thing. AZ's got the Blue Wrench crew, and I think Mac has the Mac crew. I don't really have a name in mind yet. We have to think of something. Yes, we're going to do the hangover remedy for sure. That's on the list of paychecks to go out there and play with for sure. Also on the list of paychecks, by the way, is one that I coded up. So a subscriber asked me to code him up a WinCraps script this week, which I did. I coded it up, and it is the only script that I've written so far that against that same 5,000 rolls that we just ran has made money. everything I do is like minus 12,000, minus 50,000. This one actually made $1,200 through the course of the whole thing. So it deserves a paycheck run. Now it's a don't pass strategy, so it's kind of boring to roll dice and just wait for sevens all day long. But in WinCraps, that thing totally freaking works. So that's going to be on my list as well. So there's that. Let's see. Skill says this too, and I'm working through this, right? What I'm going to produce for you all is this. We're going to get you the list of roles, one roll file that you can load into WinCraps. And I showed you how to load the roll file. So we're using the same 5,000 rolls every time. That 5,000 rolls is about a month or two old of rolls. And what it is it's a combination of my practice shots from the garage and my random shots from here. I'm going to give you a set of 5,000 rolls that's just me controlled shooting. 5,000 rolls that's just me doing random crap in here. And another set of 5,000 rolls that skills referencing here, which is going to be this curated set of rolls that's going to have every scenario possible. You know, bunch of come out sevens, bunch of come out losers, 0.7 out, 0.7 out, 0.1 and out, 0.2 and out, 0.3 and out, buckshot the point, all the different things that can happen. One roll file that has every scenario in it. And we're going to do, how does your script perform in every scenario? So it's going to be a thing where you basically run a bankroll against the script with a strategy. And how does it like do in every possible scenario? So we're going to test. It's a good test bed to see where your holes are. So skill, I'm working on that list of roles and getting it in. I really am focusing right now on getting all the different strategies coded up so we can see the strategies one after another, and then I'll get that in there for sure. That's definitely coming though. You got that for sure. Why not make a hotkey? Vince, I can't make a hotkey only because if you saw my setup, you'd understand it. But what I've got is my Mac, which is what I'm running on right now. I have a Windows PC, which is over next to it. You can't see it. And they're on the same network. What I'm doing when I show you WinCraps is I'm actually screen sharing from the PC into the Mac. And you're seeing a window that looks like my PC. It's not actually the PC. It's a window into it. So all the hotkeys that I would use, the Mac uses it's the hotkeys for the Mac, not for the. They don't pass through to the Windows machine yet. There's probably a way to do that, but the Mac, like Control C, the Mac takes that, not the. I can't have it push through. That's the reason why. All right, PC to D8. It should be known. Activities are best for each strat. Yes, 100%. The ultimate goal is a strategy that works for all conditions. And I think this is so true. It was what I started the day with, right? The southern border works in that mid roll. The horseman works on a short roll or a long roll. The what do you call it? The tier pressure and the squeeze play, they're pure right side rolls. They have to have a long roll to work. What's the unicorn is one that works against all the rolls, right? And we know that the moonbow is getting close to it. There is that enormous amount of risk that most people can't handle on a couple of rolls there, but it works in most other scenarios. And again, we're going to run that thing against every possible thing and find the hole. So that's the whole thing. Let's see. Too many ends in winning. I did spell that one thing wrong. Let's see. The problem with the paycheck, DGen, is right. You got to win 95% to be profitable. It's super hard. And when you see it in here, it feels great, right? The Mind won 171 decisions. It won 140 of them. 140 wins, right? 86% win rate. We still lost $50,000, right? It's, paycheck style of play is hard. Then the secret to it is this, right? $500 and out, you're going to end up being a loser. There's days though where you win extra, like you win 700 or you win 900 one day or whatever. That extra couple $100 starts to stack up and make up for a loss. You can take that extra few $100 and short stack it and make more and use those extra wins to kind of supplement the paycheck. The paycheck only works if you can supplement it. Otherwise there's no survival. Dice Dr. Dan asked me, does it show how many rolls between sevens? There's a stat that shows the rolls from the last seven, but not the average between sevens. That's a stat that I'm trying to get built into it. So yeah, I can track that with variables, but it's not built into the program just yet. let's see. The show, let's see, what else do we have here? 57K roll file that was captured from the sessions played at casinos. I do. If you have if it's actual live rolls from a casino, give it to me. I'll put that in as well, which is great. That's again, I love running these things against the same set of rolls. It's the only way to tell strategy A versus strategy B is the same set. 57,000 live casino rolls is hot. Where'd you get that? Did you actually sit there and log those things out yourself? That's insane. Let's see. Vince says, without the keyboard hotkeys, I can still show them as. Oh, I guess I can. Oh, okay. You're saying there's hotkey buttons on the. I didn't know you could do that. Actually, that's a good pro tip, Vince. Thanks for that. I'll put those out there. You're like the master of WinCraps. You do that. You make the screens look better. I'm just using all the default screens. I spend all my time in that coding window, never on the screens like you do. So good. Thanks for the tip, man. I appreciate that. All right, guys. It is 9. Time for me to work and the show to end. So, yeah. Thanks again for everything. Thanks for being here with me, hanging out, doing the thing. I hope the WinCraps demos aren't too boring. Getting something out of those things, I hope. And again, whether or not you use the paycheck coding that I used, don't care. Hopefully the learning of how I coded that out and how I did multiple things in the if statement and how I'm changing variables and using them, that's the takeaway, right? Use the way that I coded it to code your own things. And I think that'll set you up pretty good. So I'll make sure that Steen has this script posted so that you all can take advantage of it on your own. And with that said, I'm gonna knock it off here and get out and go to work. Y'all have a great day. God bless all you guys. Thanks for being here, and I appreciate every one of you. Have a great one. I'll see you tomorrow.